all around the world, people are always learning and teaching. I mean, sharing knowledge. Schools are the most common place of learning. But how much do you know about education in your country? How do you search for the information? Today, we are going to talk about the school we believe in. But before that, we are going to try to answer the following questions. What were classes like in the past? What are classes like today? How could Escola Sem Partido affect classes? What would the ideal class be like? So, let's go. Some decades ago, it was possible to see a common organization of classrooms. The desks were lined up. There was only one board standing in front of the students. Books were the source of knowledge. The teacher was the knowledge holder, and the students were not able to share experience, thoughts, or anything else. The teacher was responsible for a classroom full of students who used their time to listen to the teacher and to memorize the content. Teachers had the power to use punishment to discipline children and to control the classroom. Teachers taught with one single vision, following the most usual perspective of the subjects and hiding some facts that they could not know about their own reality. In the traditional classroom, there was no exchange of knowledge. Students were there to listen, to memorize, not to think critically. The teacher had to teach students, but never learn with them.
Nowadays, the architecture of classrooms remains similar to the traditional one. The board still stands in front of students and the desks are lined up too. However, some things have changed. Different from the traditional classroom, now the classroom is an environment where students can not only learn, but also share and exchange experiences. If the subject that's being taught in the class has more than one point of view, the plurality of visions must be shown. Another point is the technology we have available today. The resources that technology have brought are infinite. They help a lot in the students' learning process. Our model of education has certainly improved over the years. However, of course, there are some things that could be better.
Escola Sem Partido program is a bill that makes it mandatory to post in all elementary and middle school classrooms a poster with rules that teachers must follow. In general, the rules say that teachers cannot expose their own political, ideological, moral, or religious convictions in the classroom, and thus influence students to accept their way of thinking. The official website of the program says that the only goal is to inform and educate students about their rights so they can exercise their defense. Although the values defended are desirable, basically this program uses censorship to control what teacher says and do in class. More than this, the text takes an extreme route, that of forbidding teachers to speak about certain subjects. Escola Sem Partido wants the teacher to talk only about curricular content, but it is difficult to make sense of learning without talking about current issues and no context. Having the freedom to discuss varied issues in the classroom is not the same as forcing the student to think in a certain way. The ideal class should be a bright room, without heavy decor, with natural light and fresh air. The desks could be rearranged in circular workstations. A flexible classroom would have digital education, with one computer for each student and one or two projectors around the room. It would be a more relaxed and welcoming environment that encourages students to step out of the passive position and begin to interact and move around in the room. The teacher would promote interaction and personal learning. Such an environment would reduce dropout, increase concentration, and contribute to the development of social-emotional skills. An ideal class could be a learning system, including a series of experiments, discussions, and activities that would allow students to develop their own education. They would learn in practice how content will be relevant in their future.